Good morning, Instagram. You are listening to No Bullshit Blue Collar Podcast. I'm your host, Splash. Wow, we are live on Instagram at Splash_painting. You can find me there or type in Splashco. Either one will get you to see my ugly mug. But good morning, everyone. It is June 19th, 2020. As I said yesterday, I don't even know what day of COVID we're in, but we're in a COVID, so that's just what it is. As typical, I'm on Instagram right now, so if anyone makes a comment to what I'm talking about, I will read that comment, and then I will answer or comment back to that comment because we're doing our podcast live on Instagram. Kind of a little fun feature we've added recently that I'm loving. Got my sticker board behind me. If you have stickers for your business, send them to good old Splash. We'll put them on the board. We'll post them up. We actually got some new ones up there. What do we have? We have the Big Bearded Painter and Baron's Painting, and I have Ask Painter. So today's conversation, I try to keep Fridays as lighthearted as I can, but if you're a business owner, this is a message that you have to hear. You got to stay and listen to the whole conversation that I'm going to have here. This is a true story that I'm going to share with you because I know that I'm not the only person that's a contractor that's dealt with this. You have either dealt with this or you're going to deal with this. So we're going to talk about it because, well, quite frankly, there's no fucking education on how to run a contracting business, is there? Yeah, those are crickets. There is none. So let me get into my business. I got my cup of coffee this morning. Cup says, let that shit go. A very good painter of mine, friend, sent this to me, so thank you to her. All right, so here's where we're going with today's episode. And if you're on Instagram right now and you want to comment, please comment. Let's make it relevant. Let's have a conversation about this. This week, I'm not going to get in. This episode's called Dear Customer. And if you ever have a customer like this, I want you to guide them to come listen to this podcast. Because this is not for the lighthearted. I had a customer call me this week and say that they finished their basement. They needed it painted. They all wanted one tone. Walls, doors, ceilings, everything. He said, he proceeds to tell me he had another company who I know who this company is. They live here in my they live in my neighborhood. The company gave him a bid for $1,800. Then when they came in to give the bid, before they went to start, the owner of that business came to him and told the homeowner, hey, this is going to be another $900. This is more work than what my guy who does the bidding does. Now, we're going to stop right there. This is a common thing that happens in a contractor industry where you go give a bid, you jump on the job site, and then afterwards you realize, man, I should have put this much more because it's going to take that much more. Or it could be for lack of product that you didn't gain the money on. It happens. It happens to all of us. Best thing to do is to have the right conversation with the customer. If you can eat it, then eat it. But if you can't, have that conversation. So the homeowner then kicks that painter out of his house and tells him, no, they're not going to do the work. So he gives me a call and he says, hey, look, I have 1,800 square feet. He tells me what he wants. He's like, I'm trying to get this done for $1,000. Okay. Let me tell you what I walked into. I walked into a brand new finished basement. Now, I will give this homeowner credit. He did all the he says he did all the labor. He did the drywall, hanging the doors, did the trim work. Pretty good, thing. There's a lot of caulking that's missing. He had 80% of the walls and windows masked. So I asked him, I said, well, what color are we doing? He's like, white, no tint in the paint. Well, I told him he should go get his paint tinted because he bought cashmere paint and he wants to do the work himself. I said, well, why are you calling a painter to do the work? And he proceeds to tell me, he says, well, my wife says I need to spend more time with her, and that does happen. And so he says, so I did the math. Now, I got to give you a little backstory. I actually know who this customer is. We used to work together. We used to live in the same neighborhood, and he actually used to be one of my bosses. So there you go. So then this is on Wednesday that this happens. So I go to his house, I walk it. It's a kitchen, a dining room, a stairway entry, 3 closets, a bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. So you're probably looking at around 2,200 square feet. I think he's miscalculated with his square footage, but we'll call it 2,000 square feet. So I asked him, he says, well, I have the paint. I want the walls and ceilings, doors and trim all painted the same. I said, well, here's the first thing. I got to prime your house because I can't just put paint on your wall. I got to prime it. Then I go through my process of what we need to do. And I asked him, I said, are you sure? He says, yeah, I want gloss on the walls and ceiling. Later on down the road, I will I'll add an accent while I can paint that. He's like, I have a sprayer. I can spray it right now. So I bite my tongue. I don't really say anything to him. And I said, okay, I'll get you a bid later on today. I calculate how much paint he has so I know what I don't need to buy because he already has the paint. And I'm okay using the paint because it is Sherwin-Williams and the dates on it were new. So I'm thinking, okay, fine. So I go home and I give him a bid, and it is a lot more than he thought. I bid him what I would normally bid a regular customer. I don't do discounts for anybody. Even if I know you as a business owner, we're not in the business of giving discounts. If that's what you want, go to the dollar store or go to Craigslist and find a painter or a contractor. Nothing against it, but that's where you're going to find those at. So I sent him a bid. Let's just say that the bid was $5,500. Okay. That's not what it was. But for conversation, let's just say what it is. I broke down what I needed to do on there and why we needed to do it. I even suggest that we change the ceilings to flat, but we could do whatever we wanted. But either way, there's not really a cost difference for my crew and I. Then he sends me a text message that's 3 screenshots. Okay? So understand this. I give him the bid. I sent it to him. He didn't send me his email, so I couldn't send him an official bid because I asked him, what's your email? And he's like, oh, just send me a text message. I'm like, okay, fine. So he sends me a 3 screenshot text message, and he has broken down what my costs would be and how much money I would make a year if this is what I charged. And he said that I'm way overpriced, that it should only be $1,000 to have a painter come into his home and prime, caulk, sand, and roll or spray 2 coats of paint on 2,200 square feet. This is where I want to have my conversation with business owners and the customers. Don't tell me, Mr. Customer, how I need to calculate my business. You don't know. I value my employees' work that they do. They're very detailed. I value the work and the ethics that my crew has. I am getting tired of customers, and I don't know if it's something I just deal with or if this is something you all deal with. Let me know on Instagram. And you can even call the podcast 501-444-2583. But as blue-collar people, this is a skill. It has taken us a long time to understand the skill that we're doing. A lot of us, because we're honest, we'll admit we have fucked up a lot. A lot of us will learn from those fuck ups and say, I'm not going to do that again. Then that builds your skill set. What I'm finding with customers now is that everybody wants to negotiate a price. Well, Mr. Customer, I'm here to tell you, stop. And to business owners, stop doing it. This is why. I'm going to explain this to you. Think of every major company that you've ever bought or done business with. Just think about whatever it is that you can imagine that you've bought and done business with these people, okay? Nike, Walmart, Adidas, I mean, you name it, we can go on and on with a list of companies. There is a reason why those companies don't discount when you get to the store. They have sales that are preset. So, as a contractor, you've learned a skill. You've started a business. Some of you may even have employees, or you're the only employee yourself. You have to know what your dollar per hour rate is. With that being said, customers, don't try to figure out and tell me the blue collar worker that you called to do a job that you may or may not be able to do the right way, or you just don't have the time to do, and trying to negotiate with me. Negotiations are made for swap meets. That's not a painter. Because when you start negotiating with customers, there's something that you really, really are missing as the business owner that I'm going to tell you and that this new customer now knows when they watch this video. I value the work that my employees do. I can't go to my employee and say, hey, employee, this customer wants you to do this job. Same thing you did last week. But instead of paying you $22 this week, I'm only going to pay you $17 because that's all the money that they have. And they only value you at $17. So as the business owner, I'm going to let them value you because they've never met you. Fucking stop. Stop. I'm the business owner. I know the value of my employees. If you negotiate with me, you are not my customer. So I wrote this gentleman back and I told him very frankly, I said, I appreciate the feedback on how you feel this job should cost. Unfortunately, my prices are non-negotiable. I value the work that we do at Splash Painting and I value the work that my employees do. Good luck to you. And secondly, he had sent me a screenshot of another company's bid and asked me how ludicrous my bid was compared to theirs. Secondly, I told him, this is the company that he kicked off the job site. Secondly, I told him, I am not going to comment on that other company's business because I don't know their business model. So dear customer, the moral of this conversation is this. Stop negotiating with blue-collar people. If you call us to do work, pay up. If you can't afford it, get more bids. But understand, in the trades, not in just painting, but in trades typically, if you hire someone who's in the medium range, you're going to get high quality work. Now, if you hire someone who's the highest, doesn't mean you're not getting high quality work. There's reasons why we have our rates set where we set. There's reasons why some of us grew up wearing Pro Wings and some of us grew up wearing Air Jordans. It's cost. It's all cost. At the end of the day, it is not your responsibility, nor is it even an area that you should be going into trying to break down what I should be telling you. Like, he literally went through and told me how many hours the job should take, how many coats of paint it would take, and that he had 15 coats of paint to cover 2,000 square feet on new drywall. Just not right, you know? And you have to understand as a business owner, this is the one of, in my experience of owning Splash Painting and now owning Splash Co., the biggest hurdle that I have found in my business, and I say I have a lot of hurdles, but this is the biggest hurdle that business owners have that I want to tell these customers, because I really want you to tell your customers to come watch this video that have these conversations with you. We know that you work hard for your money. The problem is that as we build our business, we're unsure of what we feel like our hourly rate is. Now, when I get painters or other contractors that DM me, one of the big questions I get from them is, how much should I charge these people? You guys, every one of us can raise your hand on Instagram right now. You've all seen it, or you've even done it. Hey, how much would you charge for this room? How much would you charge for this? Even last night myself, we did a bid on a job. I've never bid on a project like this. I reached out to 2 painters who I know who aren't in my state and said, hey, we're going to do this job. This is where my bid is at. What do you think you're going to be? So I still do that because there's some jobs as I'm getting bigger that I just don't know where I'm going to be bidding. So let's give an example. There were fuel tanks. I've never painted a fuel tank. I know the process of it. I understand the logistics of it. But getting my price is something that you just don't know, because I may go in and be way under and have so many more hours. There may be things that I don't know. This is why this network of Instagrammers and painters or contractors work. So to the customer, we do our due diligence, but we're non-negotiable base of blue-collar tribe people. We're not going to negotiate. And if you are the painter that's negotiating, you need to reevaluate your business and how you value the work that you do. I always tell people that reach out to me that I have conversations with, figure out what your price per hour is. Then go do the next 2 or 3 jobs and see, did you make that much money per hour? If you didn't, then you would probably need to put your phone down and stop watching Instagram when Splash is on, or whoever else is on. Sorry, I assume you're just watching me. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not being egotistic. I'm fucking joking. But you have to value that. So even in my bid sheet, like on my bid sheet, it tells the customer we're billed at $65 an hour, $85 an hour, whatever that process is that I want to bill them at. The reason is so that they understand that I value the work that we're doing. Now, as the contractor, talking to you now, you got to make sure you put that value in. There are some of you that are lazy motherfuckers that don't do the right job. You get in, you slap paint on, and you leave. We've all followed somebody that's done that. We all have. Every trade, drywall, plumber, welder, framer, all of it. We've all gone into a job where the homeowner or another contractor's like, well, we hired XOC over here, and this is what they did. And we're like, oh, fuck, man. This is going to add another $3,000 on because now I have to sand 25 doors that have lint all over them because you rolled them with a 1.5-inch roller. I've actually had that happen. Horrible. But you get what I'm saying. So as you're building your business, this is important that you understand your value. When you understand your value and you know your value, you don't go away from it. You don't negotiate. You don't need to chase a dollar. The hard thing that I was trying to say is like the hardest thing as we build our business is one, knowing our value, and two, knowing that every customer is not our customer. Yeah, customer, I'm talking to you right now. You're not our customer. You're not always going to be our customer. If you feel that you have the skills to do it, don't pick up the phone. Okay? If you're going to sit there and you already have, and the thing is that I noticed this with a bunch of, where I live at, Utah's really based with a lot of work at home people who have sales jobs. They're internet salespeople. And it's their mindset, because that's what they do all day, is to sit and negotiate. You have to have a non-negotiation clause in your business. So there you go, dear customer. Stop fucking negotiating with us. No, you're going to pay. Now to you, the contractor, let me give you a little hints or some advice. Because our cost is expensive at times, you're talking $7,000, $10,000 to paint a house. A lot of people don't have that money. You need to find a service that offers you financing. Not for you. You're not a bank. You're not a lender. You're a contractor. You're a blue-collar, badass motherfucking contractor. Now, when that being said, I'm going to plug them because I do use them. I don't agree with their business model 100%, but overall, I give them a 90% on the vector of how their app works. Joist. Joist offers my customers free or loans. They offer loans, not free, but they do offer a financing option for them. I have nothing to do with it. It's just there. There's a little button on your app you hit. They also accept credit cards. They can accept e-checks. So there's different models. Because of the business that you're in, not everyone's going to have $7,000 cash laying around. It's just not going to happen. So what you need to do is you need to find either a local bank if you're in a small state, or you need to find a local an app like Joist that offers in-house financing. You're not doing the financing. Again, you're not a banker. You'll fuck shit up. You will fuck shit up, so don't do it. But what you're going to do is you're going to give your customers a sense of, wow, this person's on point. This person knows that I may not be able to afford their price, but I really want to go with them. See, that's the tricky thing. A lot of us want to work on referrals. Referrals are funny in this aspect. Are you still listening, customer? Because I hope you are. Referrals are funny because we did Jane's house. You don't know what we paid Jane. And Jane may have told you, yeah, we did this much work. Now, you may not know everything of what happened in Jane's house for us to charge that. You may call us to go in, and you may have a gray wall that you now need 10. Well, I have to roll that twice and cut it in twice. It's a lot more work than rolling Jane's house that was, I just want everything with fresh paint on the same color. So if she says, oh, my bid was $3,000, and I come to you with a $5,000 bid, well, then ask the question. There's a reason why you're changing your color. It's the value that blue-collar people are losing. Unfortunately, I don't understand why. And just be prepared, business owners. It's going to get worse for the rest of the year. This is not a one-off. It's something that's going to happen a lot. Main reason it's going to happen is with COVID happening and with everything else that's happening right now. You're going to see people that don't have the money. They're spending their money elsewhere. They don't have the funds, But there you go. There's my rant. And it's not even a rant. It's just to tell you, dear customer, stop trying to negotiate pricing. You're devaluing me as a human. You're devaluing me as a person who has learned a skill, a very hard skill. A lot of people think painting is easy. A lot of people think hanging drywall is easier or doing that, sanding a wall. There are skill sets. When I walk around a home, I can see a lot of errors, especially when you, the homeowner, do the job. I can see those errors. I'm not an asshole. I'm not going to point them out to you, but there are a lot of fuck ups. I'm just not pinpointing those things that I know need to be done that my crew is going to come in and do. So don't devalue us. Appreciate us, because at the end of the day, especially with us being painters, I'm going to tell you what. We are the ones that make your house look nice. We may not be the builder that frames that house. We may not run the electrical. But the most important thing of your house, as far as you're concerned, is, does my house look nice? Well, guess what? It takes a painter to know how to do it and to cut a straight line. So, to my fellow painters, roll on. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. If this makes sense to you, amen to that. If this has happened to you, hopefully you've handled it the right way. If it hasn't happened, hold your pants on, because it's going to fucking happen. At the end of the day, it's going to happen to all of us. But much love to you all. It is Friday. Have fun. Rock on. And last thing, I love you all this much, and those that are watching are going to have a little bit of a notice. I'm going to announce a sprayer. I'm giving away a sprayer. Not a handheld sprayer. I'm going to give away a goddamn fucking sprayer today, because I love you all. And I want to share the joy and passion that I have in my trade with you. So stay tuned. I'll have an announcement today of what sprayer I'm going to give away. And good luck to the winner, because this sprayer I'm giving away is absolutely one of my favorite sprayers. And every painter that sprays should own this sprayer. So I'm going to give it away. All right. Much love, everybody. Have fun. Send me stickers if you have some. And as always, let that shit go. It's Friday. Be safe, everybody. All right, Instagram. Woo! Now that's done. All right. So, I'm going to launch this video on YouTube. I really am. I don't always launch my videos on YouTube, but dear customer needs to be launched. I hope that those that are in the contractor business, they understand where I come from. And if you are a customer happens to watch us, no, it's not personal. What I'm saying is not personal at all. It is just a fact. Being blue collar is hard. Being blue collar is fun. There's a lot of perks, but negotiation is just not in our wheelhouse. We're not going to negotiate. So, but stay tuned, everyone. I'll have an announcement of what the sprayer is I'm going to be giving away, and we'll have that up and at it hopefully within the next hour. But I got to run. Peace out, everybody.